was a swore. Oh, simple one. Can I be is back for a movie? Oh, the cost of living prices will renew the leases, and we will go weather as well. Good evening, my name's John Swiss. I'll tell you the latest news for this evening. Let's have the great news going on, and it's really sad as the war is going on, and it is really sad to know what is going on in the world. You on that? Kyiv. I mean K H A K I Kyiv. I mean Kyiv. I which RESIDENTS DEFIATCONSTATNT Russian bombing. For little kids, this is we shall lose, but it is the latest. And see, I got badges on, so I am reporting for the grain, but it is the latest.
We had just heard 4 explosions, and following the smoke, we found the apartment building that the Russians had hit with one of their cruelly indiscriminate pot shots. We got there before the emergency services to find some of the residents taking in what had happened with the matter-of-fact demeanor of people for whom this was nothing new or exceptional. "Where's my bag?" muttered this lady to no one in particular. Spring sunshine and the fact it was lunchtime when the Russians sending in the ordnance normally take a break meant several people, including children, were getting fresh air. Incredibly, there are no reported injuries. I hit this place about 2 weeks ago. The apartment, you can see, elderly couple who thankfully vacated the flat just 2 days ago when their son decided. Used to have a population of 1.4 million, but right now the pummeling it's getting is keeping people off the streets. However, despite appearances, Ukraine's second city is far from deserted. This man may look like he's boarding a train out of town, but he's actually walking through what has been for the last 2 months his door. When they began, families in the Saltivka neighborhood entered the tube station not to catch a train, but to live in one, which they've done for 60 days and nights. The carriages quickly filled up, and so did the platform and inner strength. How do you find the inner strength? It used to be, but times change. Kids forced to play trains in a tube station those.
We hope it's fulfilled.
Look on the bright side of life.
Yeah, this kind of situation to
No difference between night and day, and such is the bombardment. These people spend both in the station. Their resolve is quite something. The Russians are at war not just with the Ukrainian nation. Not everyone can pick up a rifle, but these people feel they're doing their bit, and at a cost. There are many reasons they choose to stay in their home. For some, one of them is resistance. Has been relentless, but if at the outset the Russians thought they could bludgeon this city into submission, then later they learned taken. John Irvine, Kharkiv.
Yeah, and you can see all that. Alright, David Abbey charged cakes to the red carpet for the film payment of the ERA. Or let David Abbey is back. A film. Oh my god, it comes out this far. But it is.
A world premiere tonight, The Resident, what has become one of the screen's most famous addresses. Cut!
Sorry.
The modern world comes to Downton. Meanwhile, for the coming to the 12 years after as a TV drama, the success of the first film outing in 2019 has persuaded the cast to reunite for a tale about Downton becoming a movie set while a family secret is unravelled.
2 days to gives her a house.
You never thought to turn it down?
Because if I turned down a villa in the south of France.
Escapism for the cast, and now it's hoped for the audience too.
It's not a gritty documentary by any manner of means. You know, after the 2 years everybody's been through, I think hopefully people will go, oh, I can go and bathe in Downton Abbey and escape into a sort of into a sunlit world.
When the TV series began in 2010, its episodes regularly drew around 10 million. Nostalgia. That recent period, say the cast, that the new film is set to enjoy.
I actually think back to that time when we would all sit down on a Sunday and watch Downton Abbey in the UK, and that was a different world, really different world.
You know, Brexit, pre-Trump, pre-Ukraine, seems already a sort of a fond, far distant land.
It seems the public only want films that talk.
Yeah. They really lead.
Downton Abbey lets us love hearing
cinema.
We can have slow and stately. So.
Whether we'll see the repeated return of Downton is down to the audience.
I'm looking forward to that, and that's out this Friday. This Friday, and that Bambi first series was in 2010. I am shocked, but even that, it is
£50. Bills have gone up, well, doubled, foods is going up quite a bit.
He works at a charity that helps people through difficult times, but rising bills make her worry about her own family too.
He was paying £50 a week, it's about £110 a week now. So I'm more or less coming to cover my electric. So there's going out now to cover the rest of the bills. It's going to get to the point soon where I'm going to have to be working over 50 hours a week. And it's only my children that are going to suffer.
Today, two of the country's biggest markets pledged to cut prices on hundreds of items in response to customers' tightening budgets. 87% of people said they've seen their cost of living go up in the past month. with nearly a quarter saying it's difficult to pay. And 17% of adults say they're borrowing more money or credit compared to a year ago. Shoppers here are already changing what they take off the shelves.
I'm going to more to own brands. Own brand rather than Heinz or, you know.
We'll eat on like sandwiches, various other little things like that.
So you're skipping hot meals?
Yeah, definitely skipping hot meals. Make sure the kids have got hot meals, but we're missing.
The credit union, they've seen a huge rise in people asking for loans or dipping into savings.
People in such a either, work or you usually try members, and it's a bit like prices right now.
And with the cost of some bills still expected to rise further, many fear they'll be cutting back to the essentials in months to come. Hannah Miller, ITV News.
Yes, and of course, offering details on iRealize.com/news, and all ask Martin Lewis that or like it's to do with money. Oh my god, his email is martinlewis.com/email. You can ask him that questions about cost of living, because there's 90% of people last month. That's in March. So we ask you at home, what are you living there? To Abby while you're laughing television. There we go. Anything happened. Live on television. Yeah, anything happened. Anything happened. Anything happened. Anything happened. Anything happened. Like that. Okay. We're on our next story. A man arrested after he is related.
What?
Happened on Hereford Road in southeast London last night. Still not clear, but the aftermath is horrifying. Bermondsey neighbourhood. 4 people stabbed to death, a 5th in custody on suspicion of murder. Police forced entry to a house after a disturbance at around 20 to 2 this morning.
Inside the house, they made a of 4 people. Despite the best efforts of officers and paramedics, all 4 people were sadly pronounced dead at the scene. This is a shocking incident, and we will do everything we can to provide support to everyone affected.
Detectives are now trying to understand why a man and woman in their 60s, a woman in her 40s and a woman in her 30s were killed. It's understood the property where the stabbings happened was home to a husband and wife. Neighbours say they were woken by the sound of a helicopter and police and paramedics at the scene.
I had the police were saying open the door, it's the police. So then I looked out my window, then I literally saw the police and the police were knocking across mine. So I just thought probably it's routine or something like that, or they were looking for someone. I didn't take it seriously. I'm a bit scared now because this is a quiet area, so it's a bit surprising.
A man where he remains in custody. Police say they believe all 5 people were known to each other and they're not looking for anyone else. Deaths. To formally name the 4 people who died here last night. However, one woman has been named locally as grandmother Dollett Hill. Her niece arrived at the scene this afternoon. She was incredibly upset, but spoke to reporters, said and very generous. She said she worked very hard in the to support her 2 girls and her 2 grandkids, that she does not deserve this.
Thank you, Charlotte, for that.
What?
Thank you, Charlotte, for that. Okay, alright, before we go, what's next for France after the EMMAL Marathon defeats name MARINELE Penn election.
Nouveau président de la République. Nouveau président de la République française, Emmanuel Macron.
Something neither of his predecessors managed, win a second term, and did it in some style. What Democratic leader wouldn't be happy with winning close to 60% of the vote? But given how many candidate of the far right, he was clear last night what his main task is now. Unite and move forward, he said, and in every moment that's what we're going to do. We'll move forward, yes, and so we will in Europe. In France, he again had a mandate, but the Ukraine crisis has shown he has work to do in Europe.
I think for Macron, the Ukraine crisis has shown two things. One, the EU should do more. Two, it's not able to do more.
Does Europe want to be led by Macron?
It depends, I think. Some people have ideas, and actually even if people realise that if they want to achieve anything in Europe, they need to get a majority of member states on board.
As say opponents in the French Parliament, he's going to have to learn just how much other Europeans, especially now, NATO.
When you take defense, the same thing on.
Marie rated her image and skillfully exploited the cost of living. There's a chance of protest even with such a top right could be back the top job in 5 years' time.
Yeah, the first was we are Israel, but he won, and he will be the president for the next 5 more years. Okay, so what is the weather like? What is what? I'm not. I don't know. What is the weather like? What is the weather like? But I don't know what the weather like. I don't know what the weather's like. What is to do with the weather?
Settled, a fine week wears on, a deal of welcome sunshine. Here for some of us, like given feeling particularly chilly in the breeze from the near sea. High settling wears on, keeping it quiet, calm and dry. Prime conditions for temperatures to fall in the next few nights. A touch of frost in most zones, and as we southern Scandinavia, those temperatures remain a little on the shy side during daytime hours too. Through the next few hours, as the clouds melt away, temperatures are sliding than you'd expect it to be at the point in the spring. Just 3 or 4 degrees, as low as -4 in sheltered rural locations, a touch of ground in the most prone zones, and a few pockets of shallow the new day for those up bright and early. For the rest of us, clear and crisp from the word go. Some glorious sunshine, really first thing. And as the sunshine gets to work, those temperatures recover quite nicely. Highs of 15 or 18 degrees in sheltered sunnier spots across the cloud bubbling up compared to today. A little better and clearer. Just a little cloud to mention Scotland and northern. Where we've got the cloud cover, always a very cool feel. And feeling particularly chilly around the North Sea coast with that cold breeze once more. A similar theme into Thursday, a little more cloud lapping its way in from the east with that cold breeze. Elsewhere, all the difference.
Yeah, thank you, Lucy, for that weather details. That's it for this evening. Up next is MDale. This up next is MDL. So sit back and relax. Up next is MDL. But from everyone here, stay safe.